I don't know.
Yeah, that's orange right there.
Yeah, all right. So anyway, yep, Jose Marrero with that Ting Lu EX giving the stream what they want to see here. Ting Lu finally getting its debut here. Owen Rhoads trying to get some redemption here for the Chien Pao folks. We have not seen it be able to succeed yet on the stream, but can we see it in this matchup, Chip? I am super excited to cap off our day one here, our Swiss round 9 with this incredibly off-meta, interesting match.
Yeah, I'm going to be excited to see how Jose's built this list, how he's going to navigate his turns, and really just what his overall setup is going to look like. Looks like we're going to see some prize cards coming out for these two players.
Here we go.
That one Radiant Alakazam.
Oh my goodness.
That is not ideal to see in the prizes, to be honest. A couple Irida being down for Owen Rhoads over there. A cross switcher being down. That's one of your ways to get Ting Lu out of the active spot is cross switcher.
Well, this is a bit awkward here.
Yeah, for both of these players.
Yeah, for both players, exactly. You know, you can only play one Radiant Pokemon in your deck, and that is going to be in the prize cards there for Jose. Owen playing 4 Irida. So important to this deck to put those puzzle pieces together, and 2 of them are in the prize cards. Oh, no.
Yeah, not really what you want to see. I mean, we walked through our Chien Pao games earlier in the day. We saw how vital Irida is to just be able to set up Excalibur turn after turn after turn, especially when we were seeing matchups where players were targeting down and being aggressive after the Excalibur. I'm not sure that that's necessarily going to be Jose's strategy, as he's going to be trying to just stick Ting Lu active and turn off the Excalibur ability, so he might not be as worried about being aggressive after it.
Absolutely, Chip, but here we go, kicking off our Swiss round 9, ending our day 1 here with an exciting match, and we're starting over on Jose's side of the field. Ting Lu, don't mind if I do, Chip. Here we go. Hawlucha is going to be on here, too. I even didn't mention the Hawlucha being in here, but that's a perfect inclusion.
Yeah, it combos super well with that Cursed Land ability, adding some damage counters into play. I will say, though, Jose's hand does not look super strong. He is going to bench the Spiritomb. Doesn't quite know what he's up against yet. And that Gape Draw Bog is actually a card that could be pretty solid. If the Pokemon retreats, then it takes 2 damage. And if that Pokemon takes 2 damage, we know that means that it won't be able to use its ability.
Absolutely. That's like the perfect stadium here, but it's going to be bumped out of the way almost immediately here from Owen Rhoads, putting the Pokestop into play, using it, but not a single card being drawn for Owen off of that Pokestop. It was the Excalibur, and what other 2 cards, Chip, were discarded? It
was a Water Energy and a Chien Pao.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
Really not cards that Owen wants to see hit the discard pile. The Pokestop is honestly a pretty interesting inclusion in Chien Pao. That's not something I've really seen too much of. Usually people are opting for the skate parks. I've seen some people playing things like Lost City.
True.
The Pokestop is a new one to me.
Yeah, that is a new one indeed for me as well. I mean, I guess I've only seen this a couple times, but Owen actually plays 3 of them. So a lot of Pokestop in this deck, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have a ironed out version of this deck that is like the best Chien Pao or the best way to play this deck. So you see the innovation from these players deciding which way they want to take this deck onto into our tournaments and onto our stream, and that's what Owen chose to do. We'll see. So far, not paying off too well with that Pokestop, but hopefully the tides change a little bit in this matchup here. Of course, going through the deck, making sure that we see everything that's in the prize cards, or at least prize mapping as best as possible here for Owen. And we're going to see that Arceus V come down onto the field. Owen plays a 1-1 line, Arceus V and Arceus V Star. So that is awesome for that Arceus V-Star Starbirth V-Star power that can potentially get some puzzle pieces here for Owen. And yeah, it's a common Pokemon that I think we see. It's either like the Palkia or the Arceus version of Chien Pao is what I'm most familiar with.
Jose doesn't have too much to work with, has to go with the Pokestop of his own.
Mario getting a gusty pickaxe.
Hey, this could find a supporter card. I think you'd rather find a supporter than a energy card at this point. And what do you know? Professor's Research, what a hit.
What a hit indeed. That is definitely what you want to be seeing here for Jose. That is awesome.
And even already has a fighting energy in the discard pile, so he could attach this energy for turn. He needs 2 energy down in order to be able to use that Dino Cry on the Koraidon EX.
Dino Cry. What
Such a good ability.
Yeah, the name. That is so great. All right, here we go. That Professor's Research, fresh 7 cards here. And there is that Koraidon coming down here. A beautiful artwork as well. Chip, is this Tinglu or is this Blinglu? Let me tell you. This is amazing.
Why not
to see.
both, you know? Why not both?
Right? Absolutely, yeah. Jose always coming out here with the prettiest decks, that is for sure.
Yep, so with the Gape Jaw Bog, Jose will bench his own Koraidon. It does take 20 damage for being benched under that stadium, but
yes,
it's worthwhile whenever you want to get that Dino Cry. And right away, Jose wanting to utilize Hawlucha to shut off that Arceus. And Owen, recognizing his hand was really poor, is going to just concede the game.
Conceding the game 5 minutes into this match.
Basically 4. We're like 4 minutes and 10 seconds at this point.
Exactly.
I mean, that has to be the fastest scoop I think we've seen. And honestly, I like that decision from Owen. His hand was not good. He did not have much to work with. And with that Hawlucha coming down, Jose was likely going to retreat his Hawlucha into the Tinglu, and then he was going to use Koraidon in his turn, throw the energies up into the active, and then make it so that Arceus can't even use its V-Star power. So Owen was going to be left with truly no options. Yeah, no options, and that is a tough hill to climb for sure. And Owen said, I'm not going to climb this hill. I'm just going to start over, I guess. I'm just going to go home. We're going back to the base. Yeah, we're going back to the base. Exactly, Chip. So we'll see how this second game goes. Hopefully a lot better of a start for Owen on this end. Hopefully bring it to a 1-1 maybe. I mean, we could easily conclude 3 games here with how quickly that one concluded. But of course, Jose looking to just take a strong 2-0 here and punch his ticket into day 2. Looks like Jose does have a mulligan, so Owen will have extra cards to work with. Exactly what you want to see when you're looking for that Battle VIP pass on turn 1. Something that we didn't really talk about, but that was really strong from Jose on that first turn is that he benched Spiritomb, and that meant Owen could not use Lumineon V's Luminous Sign to search out a supporter. He had the Ultra Ball turn 1, could have Lumineon V, Luminous Sign, gets the Irida, gets a Battle VIP pass and a Water-type Pokemon. You can fill your bench up, and all of a sudden you feel pretty firm and set up. Yeah. But that was just, you know, not an option thanks to that Spiritomb coming down from Jose. Yeah, awesome play there for sure. Just, again, too many obstacles in the way. I mean, I guess what type of deck would you consider Tinglu, Chip? Well, fighting, right? No, come on. Fighting type, and it's a little bit of a control style, right? You want to slow things down with an ability lock. Maybe it's a bit more ability lock if you classify that as its own thing, but I guess it is also just a wall. Tinglu's got a ton of HP, 240 HP on a basic. Jeez. It still does a sizable amount of damage with the land scoop, 150, and it also spreads some damage. Yeah, that's true. Well, we'll see if this wall can take another win here in our Game 2 Swiss Round 9. We're starting over on Owen's side of the field. Just an energy attachment there, and now we do see that Lumineon V, that Luminous Sign, searching out a supporter card here. Of course, cannot play a supporter here on turn 1 since he's going first, but choosing to play this now because he doesn't want to get it locked out of the game with Spiritomb or something like that, what we saw in the last game. Yeah, it's spooky out there for sure. So get your resources out while you can. That Frigibax is just going to get a nice little water energy. Irida going to go into the hand. Did you get a look at the hand at all, Chip? Not from Owen. I'm looking at Jose's now because he's got it fanned out for us. And he's got a few energy cards and another Tinglu. Over here on Owen's side, I do see the Baxcalibur. Yeah, I don't know if I saw the rare candy, but obviously if the Irida stays in hands, that can be retrieved. Top deck from Jose, that Battle VIP pass. Let's go. Previously, Battle VIP pass before Paldea Evolved would not have really been an out to let you draw cards, but thanks to the new Squawkabilly EX, Squawk and Seize can ditch this hand. Let's go. It's going to get Jose a bunch of new cards, and it's also going to get him a bunch of fighting energy cards into the discard pile. Yeah, this honestly seems like a perfect inclusion of Squawkabilly EX. Jeremy's caster pick coming in clutch here for sure.
we're squawking, we're seasoned. It's going to be a great time here for Jose.
Now, Jose does have a Ting Lu in his hand, I believe, and also an escape rope. So something I would really love to see him do is bench the Ting Lu and play the escape rope. Send this Frigibax to the bench so that if on the other end of this Squawk and Seize he's able to find Hawlucha, he'd be able to place a damage counter on this little Frigibax because it would be on the bench. And then we see that is exactly what Jose is going for, and now it'll shut down a potential Baxcalibur.
Oh my goodness, Chip. Absolutely flawless here. Fantastic cards that we see from Jose. Fantastic strategy we're seeing as well. So here we go. This is the Squawk and Seize here into a fresh 6 cards now.
Jose did prize a Hawlucha, so he's going to need to find an Ultra Ball to search one out. Trekking Shoes can let him get through the deck a little bit.
Ooh, Lucario V going to the discard pile in favor of another card here. I believe it was a Stadium. Another Trekking Shoes grinded through the deck here.
Ditches another Ting Lu, but it doesn't look like we have a way to get that Hawlucha. So he's going to miss out on what would have been pretty strong, but does find that Gapejaw Bog. Yeah,
Gapejaw Bog, awesome to have here, as we mentioned before. Similar to our last game that we saw, putting in the active there. Unfortunately, it got bumped right away by Owen, but if it sticks in the active there, having those damage counters spread about when Owen retreats is definitely something you want to see on Jose's side. All right, we're on to Owen's second turn here. Hand is still stable. Of course, we know that Irida was searched out last turn, so that is an option here. We already know the Baxcalibur is in hand as well, but what are the other options that we're seeing from Owen?
Looks like an Arceus V, not too much to work with. What's interesting here, Jose did choose to load up his active Ting Lu, and that is a little risky because Owen could take a knockout here on this Ting Lu. It's not that crazy that he would be able to have this. He can just get a Chien Pao, have some energy available, and use Shivery Chill to get some more energy cards, and then all of a sudden, you discard 4 energy cards from play, 240 damage. That's a knockout on this Ting Lu, and it resets Jose back a whole turn.
Yeah, like all of a sudden you're knocked off the field, and Owen is down 2 prize cards. That would be rough for sure.
I don't know that Jose quite has the cards. He's kind of close, to be honest. He's got a Superior in hand. He's got 1 Water Energy. I think if he had just 1 more Water Energy, he actually would have this.
Oh my goodness. Well, I guess we'll see how this turn goes here, but that Chien Pao being drawn off of the Irida as well as the rare candy that was needed to be able to evolve into that Baxcalibur straight away from the Frigibax. Little Frigibax on the bench here on Owen's side. Yeah, let's see. What else do we have?
Yeah, I think he is just 1 energy short. Maybe if he had a way to discard the energy that's currently on the Frigibax, like if there was another cross switcher, he could cross switcher something else, retreat it off, something like that. Then I think he could pull this off. But he is literally 1 energy card short. He has everything else he needs. He can put down this Chien Pao. It would take 2 damage from the Gapejaw Bog, but that doesn't matter because the Cursed Land ability from Ting Lu does specify that it does not turn off the abilities of Pokemon EX. So Chien Pao would still be able to use its ability.
Yeah, everything else is effective if it has those damage counters, but EX are not indeed. So that would be A-okay there. We're seeing the Lost Vacuum here to bump away that Gapejaw Bog. Arceus V going into the Lost Zone for Owen. We're going to see the manual attachment as well on Lumineon V, which is going to allow for another energy to hit the discard pile off of this retreat into Chien Pao. And here we go, that Shivery Chill.
Yeah, and he is going to have this because that energy that is in play on the Baxcalibur. So he's going to have 4 energy cards. It's going to be 240 damage exactly. He's able to pull this off. It will require him to go to a 0-card hand, however.
No.
But I think it's worth it, especially when you're looking at a deck like Jose's that does not have solid acceleration. He's not going to be able to respond to this Chien Pao next turn. This seems pretty strong from Owen, and he's going to have access to it. That energy being in play on the Frigibax, of course, not mattering because you can just discard it from anywhere with Hailblade. Doesn't have to be just from the Chien Pao.
Yeah, that's actually a good point to make. That's something that could potentially be overlooked. But yeah, I guess we're going to see that go there if Owen chooses to do that. And I feel like Owen is going to be pulling out all the stops here, making that tough decision. But I think...
No! He's going to hold off.
Owen!
Just hitting for a little bit. This is okay as well. You're setting
Playing
up for
safe.
a 2-hit knockout, but I think if you just clear this thing out of play, sure, you leave yourself with not much. You go to 0-card hand, but you're going to take 2 prizes. You're
Yes,
going to have a top
that's
deck,
true.
and your opponent is going to have to end their turn by using Dino Cry once again.
That is very true. Well, we'll see how this pays off for Owen, this move. But we're now on Jose's side of the field here with that 60 damage there.
Owen does have boss's orders in hand, so maybe that's what he's thinking about, wanting to keep the boss around. But Land Scoop, going to do 150 damage, and then it's going to put 2 damage counters onto the Baxcalibur on the bench.
Yup, and that is going to turn that Baxcalibur off now. It is not an EX Pokemon, so having damage counters is definitely not where you want to be sitting if you're a little Baxcalibur, unfortunately. So we'll see what Owen decides to do from here. I wonder if Owen has practiced a lot against Ting Lu. I would assume no.
Yeah, I'm going to bet no on that for sure.
So we'll see how he chooses to navigate this. Going to start with an Irida, so we're going to see a water Pokemon and an item card revealed from the deck here on one side.
Looks like Cross Switcher is one of the options here. This could be pretty strong. You could get a bunch of water energy by getting a second Chien-Pao set up here. Use Cross Switcher, bring up that Koraidon, take 2 prizes on it, get a bunch of energy set up into play. I'm based on the way Owen played last turn, I'm kind of wondering if he thinks that he can't use Chien-Pao with damage counters on it.
Read the card.
Yeah, I mean, he did pick it up and read it, but the thing is it's like, that's the last part of the text.
I was going to say, I read like the first
EX.
line, and that's it.
Yeah, it's like, I know this thing turns off abilities, but no, it does not turn off the Chien-Pao ability.
Do you really think that's what's happening, actually?
Well, we'll have to see. I mean, because he went out of, based on what he did last turn, right, he went out of his way to Lost Vacuum away the Gape Jaw Bog when all he was putting into play that turn was a Chien-Pao.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, no.
And now he's going out of his way to Nest Ball down a Chien-Pao. Or Nest Ball down a Frigibax, which this makes more sense.
Oh, yeah, that's
so,
true.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, that actually is super good. Because that Baxcalibur is turned off, indeed. But
yes.
I guess we'll see. We'll see what Owen does here. And if he is not realizing that Chien-Pao is still available and active to use abilities here. Use that Shivery Chill.
Yeah, all he does need is 1 energy attachment, and he can still get this knockout, use the Hail Blade, discard all 3 energy in play. The question is, what does he feel like it's okay losing? The answer is Cross Switcher and the other Chien-Pao. So can only accelerate 1 of those 2 energy cards just by manual attach return.
Yep.
And Hail Blade is going to be dealing 180 here.
Absolutely, yep. All 3 energy being discarded now. To get that knockout, Owen going to go down 2 prize cards here. Only 4 left to take this game.
What a good draw. That Radiant Alakazam. It's going to be able to use that Painful Spoons ability, move 2 damage counters off this active Chien-Pao. And where do you think they're going, Boo? Right here on the little Frigibax.
On that little buddy right there.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been seeing this time and time again all day. It's felt pretty bad, actually, for our Chien-Pao players. Targeting little Frigibax and Baxcalibur all the time.
Yeah, actually choosing to move 1 damage counter from the Baxcalibur and keep all the damage on the Chien-Pao. I think that makes sense. And Dino Cry is going to end that turn, of course, using the ability of this Koraidon down here on the bench, accelerate the energies from the discard pile straight to this Ting Lu. Owen is holding on to Boss's orders in hand, but does he have enough energy to make use of the boss effectively?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, where do you go from here, Chip, if you're on Owen's side?
Yeah, and Owen kind of just...
Like, what do you do?
Yeah, Boss's orders and then use the Chien-Pao ability. I think that's what he's thinking. He's got 1 energy card in hand. He can get a knockout on this Squawk ability, go down to just 3 prizes.
Here we go. Shivery Chill, bringing those energy out of the deck here for Owen. Squawk ability already been brought up with that Boss's orders. This is what Owen's got to do here.
He's going to line up for this KO, go down to 2 prizes remaining, so he just needs to piece together a way to take 2 more. And all that takes is a Chien-Pao and 4 energy in order to Boss's orders or Cross Switcher KO this Koraidon. Thinking through his options. Based on the way it's set up here, though, I think this is the only play. Take that knockout.
There you go. Squawkabilly down here. 2 prize cards left to take, and Owen will be the winner of this game 2 here. And then we bring it to a game 3, which would be super interesting to see. Definitely not what I expected from this game. This has been awesome so far, Chip. We're on Jose's side of the field now. A manual attachment here to the Koraidon EX on bench, and Ting Lu is back in the active here.
Going to use that Painful Spoons, move some damage from the Chien-Pao to the Lumineon. This is actually going to set up for Lumineon to be KO'd by a land scoop potentially next turn with something like a Boss's Orders. We're going to see a little bit more damage spread coming down onto Frigibax.
Yeah, Frigibax being the choice to promote into the active here for Owen as well. That's a knockout for Jose Marrero, taking first 2 prize cards over on his side of the field.
Yeah, looks like Iono is the option here maybe in the hand. There's an Irida, I think, as well. Iono would not be the best, honestly, here for Owen because he'd put himself down to just 2 cards while giving Jose just 4. And Jose's really not done too much the last few turns. He's just attached energy and attacked. Attached energy and Dino Cried. That is about it. Oh, the canceling Cologne is actually massive here. That is going to turn off the Cursed Land ability, and now Owen is free to use Baxcalibur.
Wow, that is a huge inclusion there to the deck from Owen.
I think there's a pretty good chance Owen's just got this. All he needs is Chien-Pao and 5 energy cards, 1 to retreat the Frigibax and then some extras to put into play. He's even got Switch in order to bench the Chien-Pao. Put it down, switch right into it. He's got Superior in hand to close out the game. Got a little ahead of himself there for just a moment.
Just a second, yeah.
Jose's on top of it, though. Let's play this switch. Use Shivery Chill, get an extra couple energies, and use that Superior Energy Retrieval to close out the game.
Wow, what a tech there, Chip. Canceling Cologne. I guess that Ting Lu was a little too smelly there for Owen. Had to spray some Cologne on there to take this game here for Owen. That is absolutely epic to see. And we're going to be taking this into a game 3, Chip.
Massive plays from Owen. The Canceling Cologne, a card that you include to try to deal with Manaphy in the meta. Actually coming up massive here for Owen on the winning end. And the interesting thing about Owen's list, Boo, he actually plays 2 Canceling Cologne. He's got 2 of them in here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we didn't even see that the whole time, too. Throughout this. I mean, I don't think it actually came out until that very moment, Chip. So now Jose is aware of the Canceling Cologne. Probably not aware that there's 2 in the deck, but aware of at least the 1 here. And really, there's not much you can do about that if Owen has it in the hands. I mean, what are you supposed to do? So yeah, like, I mean, there's really nothing you could do about that, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that one of the things about Jose's deck here is that it's not really the type of deck that you have a lot of plays to make, right? You can't really like maneuver around what you think your opponent may or may not have. It's a very straightforward strategy. Attach energy, play whatever supporter happens to be in your hand at any given time, and turn off abilities. That is the name of Jose's game. He's going to try to, play around as much as he possibly can, of course, but it's just the nature of this deck does not allow for that as much as something like Gardevoir would, right?
Yeah. I mean, isn't that the whole, theme, Chip? Like, Koraidons from the past, going back to the basics sort of thing.
Basics, yeah. Attach energy, and that's it.
Attach energy, attack. That is what Jose has been doing. I mean, that game 1, we saw a 4 minutes in scoop from Owen, and that game 2 was stretched out to a win now from Owen. So that is tying things up between our players, taking us to a game 3 here in our round 9. Let's check out these prize cards.
Yeah, 1 Koraidon for Jose. He does play 2, and looks like he has actually started his other one. A Boss and a Research. Nothing you love to see, but of course you have to prize something. Over on Owen's end, did have to prize a Frigibax.
2 Ultra Ball, I guess.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but yeah, starting a Radiant Greninja on Owen's side, and Jose starting with that Koraidon, getting this turn kicked off with some trekking shoes. We're going trekking up the mountain here.
Yep, hiking away, see what we can find. Something that Jose is debating, hanging on to. It is that Radiant Alakazam. Does value keeping that around as an option. Jose does not play any sort of recovery cards.
Yeah, we see that Gutsy Pickaxe, such an interesting card. It's very particular. You flip a card, and if it's a fighting energy, you can attach it, or you just put it into your hand. So you have to show it to your opponent. And so now Owen knows there's an Iono now in Jose's hand.
Not the strongest turn from Jose, just an attachment in a pass. Did not end this turn with a Dino Cry as much as he would have liked to. Was probably looking for a Squawkabilly to ditch some more fighting energies, maybe even finding fighting energies to put into the discard pile off of those trekking shoes, but it was just not an option.
Not an option indeed. Let's see how Owen's first turn is, though, here. Started that Radiant Greninja, has the Pokestop now in play as well, but is going to go into the deck first here with that Luminous Sign Luminion. Searching out Irida, something we saw in the last game as well, just lining things up here. But Owen is going second, so you can actually play the Irida this turn.
Yep, first time in 3 games we're seeing Battle VIP pass on Owen's end. He's going to be thankful to have access to this. Probably trying to get a Frigibax down, trying to get down a Chien-Pao more than likely. The Arceus V-Star is something we could see him make use of. He benched it in Game 1, conceded pretty quickly. Game 2, he lost zoned it. Having access to your V-Star power is usually pretty nice.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what strategy Owen decides to go with. We got the Frigibax here coming down off of that Irida, straight into that Battle VIP pass that was also drawn off of the Irida. So going back in here for 2 more basic Pokemon being placed onto the bench here. So yeah, definitely a lot stronger to have these Pokemon. I feel like Chien-Pao is just one of those decks where you want to line your Pokemon up, get them ready to fight, to battle it out in the later turns here, especially a couple of Frigibax.
Owen is going to bench the other Frigibax here. A little risky because that does play right into the Hawlucha play from Jose, but it doesn't really matter too much because Jose already has access to Radiant Alakazam, so he can pretty easily just, you know, drop the damage with a Hawlucha and then move it over to the Frigibax when it gets benched later on.
All right, so we see those energy coming out off of that Shivery Chill for Owen, Rhoads, and that Chien-Pao.
Yep, 2 energy cards being added to the hand. Probably just going to get an attachment to the active for turn, set up to be able to attack on the next one.
Ooh,
Still has concealed cards.
Too,
yeah, can't forget that, huh?
Yep, discarding one of those energy, drawing into an additional 2 cards here from that Radiant Greninja. Ooh, we're going to roll the Pokestop. Let's go, Pogo Gamers.
And we do see
that. Wow, that's pretty solid, actually.
Yep, that Canceling Cologne added to the hand and another Battle VIP pass.
A lot better than the last Pokestop, let's just say that much. And this is still the first turn here for Owen, so actually able to play another Battle VIP pass to get another basic Pokemon out onto the field. So.
And I like this
that's going to be a full
Owen.
bench.
I really like this from Owen benching the Arceus V-Star, or the Arceus V, I should say, here, because if Jose plays down 1 Hawlucha, he gets to put a damage counter on 2 Pokemon. Yeah. So if Jose chooses a Frigibax and the Arceus, sure, Owen doesn't get to use Arceus V-Star, but he still has access to his other Frigibax that can go into Baxcalibur and use its ability. So with the way that Owen played out his turn, he's got 2 Frigibax down. Jose will likely have to put Hawlucha damage on both of those. That means Owen will likely be able to use his Arceus V-Star.
Yeah, you're giving yourself so many options here and plays out of these potential scenarios here from Jose's side. So definitely defensive, and that's kind of what Owen needs to be doing right now. We're over on Jose's side of the field here, attaching a Fighting Energy manually there to the bench into that Iono that we saw off of that Gutsy Pickaxe.
Yep, that beautiful full art Iono. Pretty strong play here from Jose. Owen did build up a large hand on that last turn, to be honest. So now each player will get 6 cards as we are still in the early stages of this game.
Yep, narrowed down to 6 cards here. What does Jose have in the hand? Ooh, we see the Charm.
Yeah, that Bravery Charm is actually something that could come up huge. It does affect the math of Chien-Pao, forcing him to have a 5th energy card in order to one-hit KO a Ting-Lu.
Yeah, it's like plus 50 HP for a basic Pokemon.
Yes.
Pretty much Cape of Toughness, but
yep.
in a Charm now. All right, we see an Ultra Ball here from Jose as well, discarding a Battle, a VIP Pass, and that Squawkabilly, 2 cards that can only really be fully utilized on your turn 1. So easy discards into that Hawlucha that pairs so incredibly well into this deck.
And you know how I was talking about the whole thing of Jose having to target the 2 Frigid Backs and then Owen would still be able to use his Arceus V-Star and his Greninja?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter if you have both of your Hawlucha. And Jose's got both of his Hawlucha here.
Oh,
so I wonder if we're going to see both of them hitting the bench, targeting all 4 of the Pokemon that can use abilities on the bench currently.
Yo, that would actually be wild. Ooh, we're going to see a Pokestop on Jose's side of the field as well.
He's really looking for fighting energy to discard, I think, right now.
Yeah, didn't get that, unfortunately, but did get a Trekking Shoes, which could potentially get a fighting energy for the discard. Ooh, here we go. Hits
Happy to throw that down.
Very nice.
It's just 1, though, and
yeah,
not exactly what Jose wants to see. Switching cart will put this Ting-Lu in the active. That means it is in harm's way. Bravery Charm makes him a little stronger, a little braver.
A little braver.
And Hawlucha number 1 coming into play. And Hawlucha number 2. Insult to injury.
Brutal.
Owen filling the bench on turn
Holy
1.
Smokes.
And now all of these abilities are shut off.
Yeah, Ting-Lu has to be in the active position to shut down these abilities, which is exactly where it is currently. Of course, not shutting down EX Pokemon, but all of those damage counters are placed on non-EX Pokemon. So none of those abilities can be used, and that's literally every ability that Owen needs, actually, for this deck to function. So quite difficult here. Qianpao can, of course, still use that Shivery Chill, so might as well thin those energy out of the deck here on Owen's side of the field, getting 2 water energy.
Yeah, maybe if he has something like Cross Switcher, he can get the Ting-Lu out of the active spot, target down Koraidon, take a couple prize cards, try to use some more of these abilities, get through the deck. We also could see Moonlight Shuriken coming into play. It's pretty strong. It could take 2 prizes onto these 2 Hawlucha down here. That is an option.
Yeah, they're only 70 HP. For some reason, I feel like they should be more, but they're only 70.
Yeah, it's a little guy.
A little guy, indeed.
And I think, a tech supporter there in the hand does play the Avery. And it might be his only option here.
Oh, wow.
This is a spot where I think Avery's kind of hurting Owen now because this Hawlucha is no longer an option for an easy prize later on, but it's really all he had access to, needed to try to draw some cards.
Yeah, he had to draw some cards, draw 3 cards there. Also limit the bench to 3, but gives you that draw support. We're going to see the Pokestop. Oh, no.
Looking for a Cross Switcher. If he had found a Cross Switcher there, he already has 1 in hand. He would have been able to really pop off, I think, this turn. He's got the Arceus V-Star, could have used Starbirth. He's got a Baxcalibur and the Rare Candy. He's done a great job of filling this hand all the way back up, but he's just unable to use these abilities thanks to Ting-Lu, but does have the Cologne. Did hit that. We can't forget about the Cologne, though.
I know. I already forgot about it again, Chip. Oh, my goodness. That Cologne is so important here. It just shuts down that Ting-Lu.
I think Owen has 5 energy cards, even though that Bravery Charm is attached. He's got 2 energy in the hand. He's got 2 in the discard pile. He actually can even get more value from his Radiant Greninja here. Before choosing not to do that, though, maybe missing out on that Radiant Greninja a little bit, but does still have this knockout lined up. Is going to require him to discard all of these energies, but it sets Jose so far back.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate. Of course, great for Owen to have, though, that canceling Cologne. Again, coming in extremely clutch here. Superior energy retrieval also being in the hand as well.
Yep, just making sure we know what the Bravery Charm does. It is just plus 50, so 5 energy is enough. Hail Blade taking the KO, setting Jose so far back.
Oh my goodness, that is going to be the knockout indeed, Chip. You hate to see it, especially after what looked so strong there. Double Hawlucha coming down, turning off all of those abilities. But all of that was canceled out by just 1 single canceling Cologne. And Jose doesn't even know probably at this point. There's still another one in there too.
Yeah.
There's 2.
Jose's thinking, all right, he's used his 1. Yeah. He's down all his tricks. Now I just got to get another Ting-Lu in the active spot and we're okay.
Sheesh.
Owen does still have another one available.
Yeah, that is going to be a bummer if that happens, but we'll see Jose nodded here, just chugging along in this match, shuffling up. Of course, Hawlucha was put into the active position here for Jose starting off this turn.
Yeah, probably just a sacrificial bird at this point.
I think we're doing a judge right now for both of these players.
Yeah.
So shuffling up the decks here, drawing into 4 cards for each of these players on that judge.
Jose was able to find the Ting Lu. He still can use the Pokestop from Owen if he wants to. He's going to choose to do that now, discarding the top 3 cards, putting any item cards into his hand.
Ooh,
just that
nice.
Bravery Charm and the Battle VIP Pass being added. Or sorry, the Ultra Ball. I saw the Bravery Charm. It's going down. Yeah, just the Ultra Ball.
Bravery Charm used to be added if it was not a different category now. But
it is different now.
Yeah, tool cards are no longer items in the Pokemon TCG, at least in this format. So Bravery Charm does not count there, and it's going to be discarded to that Pokestop.
Ultra Ball now finding another Ting Lu. We're going to see the Dino Cry incoming, but it is a big opportunity here for Owen Rhoads. If he's able to find a boss's orders and can target down whichever of the 2 Ting Lu, Jose decides to power up with the Dino Cry.
Which of the 2 Ting Lu?
Yeah,
Chip?
which of the 2 Ting Lu? He may choose to spread the energies, but no, it is just going to be 2 onto the 1.
Yeah.
And now it will be over to Owen's side of the field. Can still use the Hawlucha. Is there a boss in his hand? I don't see one. But he does have Irida, so that means that's one half of Cross Switcher right there. Irida's one half of Cross Switcher, so
that's a good way to look at it.
Find the other one through the Pokestop or through Radiant Greninja. This could be really strong.
Well, we'll see if Owen can pull things off here, starting off with that Shivery Chill just to get those 2 water energy out of the deck. But yeah, still has that Irida. Going to be played now here for Owen. Water Pokemon and an item card. Already eyeing up that Cross Switcher here. Superior Energy Retrieval also being brought to the front. Also just keeping track of the resources as well here for Owen Rhoads.
Yeah, take an inventory of what he's got available. I think I would have liked to see Owen hold off on the Irida initially, go for the Pokestop and the Radiant Greninja first.
True.
See what you draw into, and then maybe go get the other piece. Because you probably want to use Pokestop this turn anyway. You probably want to use that Radiant Greninja anyway.
Yeah,
so you might as well see what you draw first.
Yeah, maybe not wanting to discard a potential Pokemon, I guess.
Yeah, that is fair. Could have Ultra Balled out the Baxcalibur if that's the case, but either way, here we are.
Here we are
discarding a Pokemon and an Irida.
Yep, only getting 1 card there off of that Pokestop. Superior Energy Retrieval. It's going to be the second one.
And can play this now. Something that Owen could do is just load a bunch of energy up into play, so then you don't even care if Ting Lu is turning off your Baxcalibur ability. There's already enough energy in play to deal with it.
Yeah, that is very true. All right, here we go. We see all of these energy, as many as you want, as long as this Baxcalibur is in play. This is why Chien Pao on paper looks like such a powerful deck and really is performing as one as of now.
And Arceus V-Star bringing out the double Cross Switcher here from the deck. Going to target the Ting Lu on Jose's side. And this is just Owen, I think, getting too far ahead at this point. Jose's going to have to take another turn off. Won't be able to attack once again. And is going to have to use Dino Cry to get a Pokemon powered up. Cross Switcher. Owen does, switch into the Radiant Greninja. He did just ditch the energy there. And does have to now discard 4 energy cards in order to get this knockout down to 2 prizes.
Sheesh, Chip. This is actually so brutal to watch here for Jose. Owen Rhoads going down to 2 prize cards left to take after that knockout, and still has answers in the deck here for potential catastrophes that Jose could even do. But yeah, it's just an uphill climb here now for Jose. Marrero to put these pieces together to even get anything here is going to at least start with this Iono. So all these cards for both players go into the bottom of the deck, drawing into 6 cards here for Jose. Owen Rhoads only going to get 2 off those for those prize cards.
Yeah, and Jose may think he's safe here. His opponent is down their V-Star power, right? Is down. Their Canceling Clone is down 2 Cross Switchers, so he might think that there's a chance he just Dino Cries to the active. His opponent can't load enough energy up, and his Ting Lu can hang on. The problem with that, of course, is we know Owen has a second Canceling Clone hanging around somewhere in the deck.
Yeah, we'll have to see here how this one concludes, Chip, but I'm not.
Jose's doing all he can.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. That's all you can do at this point in time.
The draw for turn is a boss's orders from Owen, but I don't think there's much else going on.
Yeah, I guess just going to jump back into the deck here with that Shivery Chill.
Can grab a couple energy cards out. Is one card away from being able to just boss's orders and KO that Koraidon for the win. Needs 4 energy cards for that.
Yeah, 230 HP Pokemon with that Koraidon on the bench right now.
Now, what Owen could do is boss's orders, bring up the Koraidon, and then use Radiant Greninja, ditch the energy, draw 2, and try to find a superior energy retrieval to just win the game immediately. I don't think he has to do that. He's so far ahead here in this spot. Just attaching to the active seems decent. We can go for the Pokestop, however. Let's see what this hits. Just the Hisuian Heavy Ball. I wonder if it might have been better actually for Owen to use the Pokestop before going for Shivery Chill, because we knew the energy cards were at the bottom. They got Iono to the bottom, right?
Oh,
so you
yeah,
knew you weren't in risk of milling them. Higher odds that you'd hit an item card.
Yeah, that is very true. Maybe just a different sequencing could have ended up in a different scenario here, Chip. But still, as you said, Owen is very far ahead as of now in this match. We're just going to see that one energy discarded here, putting 60 damage onto that Ting Lu in the active.
This would be one heck of a comeback if Jose can find some way to make it happen. Holding on to a few fighting energies. Hawlucha even getting involved, getting the energy attachment.
We got some wing attack there on that Hawlucha.
You got to do what you got to do. Things are getting scrappy here at the win and in round.
It's wild, though, because it has 70 HP, and it hits for 70, too. It's putting all its might into a hit there.
And now Ting Lu dealing 150 with the land scoop to the active Chien Pao. 2 damage counters to that Luminion on the bench. Top deck for Owen is that Battle VIP Pass not helpful. He does have Pokestop to use.
True. Yeah, we're going to see another roll of the Pokestop here. Let's see what it gets us. All 3 item cards here for Owen.
I think he's got it. Boss's orders can bring up the Koraidon. We know superior energy retrieval was the grab off the Pokestop, and Owen Rhoads, against all odds, able to take out the mighty Ting Lu to get into day 2 of NAIC.
Absolutely, Chip. That was an incredible match to see here. Chien Pao versus Ting Lu. And now we finally have it. Chien Pao takes a win on the stream after kind of just getting bullied all day here. Owen Rhoads brings it to victory.